What if six figures didn't require quitting your job? Not a leap, a plan, a system. Here's the truth. Six figures isn't magic, it's math. 100,000 a year is $8,333 a month. See it that way, and the goal shrinks. It becomes doable. The people who win don't chase one miracle. They stack streams around their 9 to 5, a small side business here, a rental or room there, some digital products, a bit of investing, add them up, and suddenly, you're closer than you think. This video shows you how to design that path, step by step, with simple targets you can repeat, ready to stop guessing and start building. By design, let's begin. Your job might be your foundation, but it doesn't have to be your ceiling. The first step is to shift your mindset from, how do I make more money at my job, to, how can I make my time outside my job multiply my income? That's the real difference between an employee mindset and an investor mindset. One trades time for money, the other uses time to build assets that make money. So, let's reverse engineer this. How do you go from where you are now to earning $100,000 a year? Let's assume your job covers part of that. Maybe you make $50,000 or $60,000 a year. That means you need to find an additional $40,000 to $50,000 from other sources. That's about $3,500 to $4,200 per month in extra income. It's not easy, but it's absolutely possible. And countless people do it every day without quitting their 9 to 5. The secret is to stop looking for one big thing that will make you rich and start focusing on a few smaller things that stack. For example, someone might build a small side business that brings in $1,500 a month. Then they rent out a spare room or garage for $500 a month. Maybe they create digital products or online services that make another $1,000. Then they start investing those profits into assets that generate another few $100s in passive income. Add those streams together, and you're suddenly at an additional $4,000 a month. That's six figures. Not by quitting your job, but by building strategically around it. But to get there, you have to change how you see your hours. Most people work 8 hours, rest 8, and waste the other 8. The difference between people who build wealth and those who don't is what they do with those remaining 8 hours. The average person spends 3 to 4 hours a day on social media, streaming, or mindless scrolling. If you use just 2 of those hours to build something that could eventually pay you, you'd change your entire financial trajectory. Let's say you use those 2 hours a day to build a business, create a product, or learn a skill that increases your income. That's about 14 hours a week or 728 hours a year. Even at $20 per productive hour, that's over $14,000 of potential value. At $50 an hour, that's $36,000. At $100, that's $72,000. The math doesn't lie. The hours are there. The question is how you use them. But here's the thing most people miss. You don't have to build everything from scratch. You can start by leveraging what you already know. Every job teaches skills that have value outside of that job. Maybe you work in sales, customer service, construction, design, or administration. Those are all skills that people pay for. You can start freelancing, consulting, or building a small online brand around what you already do well. For example, someone who works in construction might start a YouTube channel teaching simple DIY home projects. Someone in finance might start a digital course teaching budgeting or personal finance for beginners. Someone in customer service might freelance doing virtual support for small businesses. When you start thinking of your skills as assets, you begin to see income everywhere. Now let's talk about the next piece, reinvestment. The goal isn't to make more money just to spend more money. The goal is to use the extra income from your side streams to buy back your freedom. That means putting it toward things that grow, investments, businesses, and assets, instead of liabilities. Let's imagine you build up an extra $1,000 a month from your side hustle. You could use that to invest in dividend stocks, rental property, or even a small local business. That money starts earning for you instead of you earning for it. And once you start reinvesting your earnings, your income begins to compound. You're no longer just trading hours for dollars. You're building something that continues working even when you don't. That's the shift from working income to wealth-building income. People who build six figures while keeping their job don't do it because they're luckier or smarter. They do it because they make decisions that create leverage. Leverage is what allows you to multiply your time, effort, and money. It's using tools, systems, or people to help you do more in less time. For example, someone who builds a small online course or writes an ebook can sell it hundreds of times without creating it again. That's leverage. A landlord who rents out a property uses leverage to earn money each month while someone else uses their space. A business owner who hires a virtual assistant uses leverage to get more done without burning out. The rich think in terms of leverage, the poor think in terms of labor. If you want to reach six figures, you have to start using leverage, even small amounts of it. And the best way to do that is to build something that scales. It doesn't have to be fancy, it just has to be repeatable. Maybe that's a service you can outsource over time. Maybe it's a product you can sell repeatedly. Maybe it's a system that runs even when you're not there. The goal is to shift from being the worker to being the builder. Now, let's pause and talk about why most people never make it to six figures. It's not because they can't. It's because they never commit long enough. Building anything worthwhile takes consistency, not weeks, but months and years. The people who reach six figures while keeping their job didn't do it by jumping from one idea to another. They picked something, stuck with it, and let time do the heavy lifting. They treated their side hustle like a business, not a hobby. They tracked income, set goals, reinvested profits, and kept showing up even when the results were small. Remember this, consistency compounds just like money does. Every hour, every small step, every dollar reinvested builds momentum. You don't need to go all in immediately, you just need to go long enough to let the compound effect take hold. Let's take a quick example. Year 1, a side hustle earns $500 a month. Year 2, it doubles to $1,000. You reinvest into simple marketing, tighter systems, and better skills, and by year 3 it's $2,000 or more per month. That pace might feel slow, but 3 years later, that's $24,000 a year in additional income. And as you keep reinvesting, it compounds. Within 5 to 7 years, you can cross six figures between your job and your side income without quitting. This is how people quietly build wealth. Not overnight, not through gambling or hype, through steady, intentional reps, and then something shifts. As your side income grows, your options expand. You can stay, negotiate better terms, or walk away on your timeline. That's real freedom, not quitting in frustration, but exiting with power. Financial independence isn't about quitting your 9 to 5, it's about creating enough optionality that you never feel trapped in it. Freedom isn't no work, it's work you choose. So decide what you want to build: ownership, creativity, or investment, physical, digital, or service-based. Get clear, and then reverse engineer the path. Now, let's get real for a moment. The hardest part isn't finding ideas, it's staying consistent when you're tired after work, when the results are slow, and when no one else understands what you're doing. That's why purpose matters more than passion. Passion fades, but purpose keeps you steady. You have to know why you're building this. Maybe it's to give your family more stability, to get out of debt, or to buy back your time. Whatever it is, keep that reason visible every day. You're not just working for money anymore. You're building leverage, freedom, and peace of mind. And here's the most exciting part. The sooner you start, the sooner it compounds. Let's imagine two people. One starts building a side income at 25, earning an extra $1,000 a month. They invest that money each year, and by 35 they have a solid business or investment portfolio earning $4,000 a month. The other person waits until they're 35 to start, and by 45 they're still catching up. The difference isn't talent, it's time. The earlier you begin, the more freedom you'll have later. Even if you're older, it's never too late. The advantage you have is perspective and discipline. You've seen what works and what doesn't, you just need to focus and execute. Let's recap. No hype, just a plan. You don't need luck or risky leaps. You need clarity, consistency, and leverage. See six figures as a monthly target, about $8,000 a month, not a miracle. Build it with a few scalable streams, a solid side hustle, a simple investment return, a small rental, and focused freelance work, layered with your main job. Each piece compounds, each layer brings you closer. You don't need more hours, you need more intention with the hours you have. Wealth rarely comes from giant leaps. It comes from small, repeatable climbs. Every hour learning, building, and improving adds up. Every system that earns while you sleep moves you toward freedom. Today, pick one stream. Set a weekly target. Show up, reinvest, repeat. One day you'll look up and realize that you've built a six-figure life not by escaping your job, but by outgrowing it. And when that day comes, you'll understand something the wealthy have known all along. Freedom isn't found in quitting, it's found in creating. If this video gave you value, take a moment to like it. It helps the channel reach more people trying to build financial freedom. Comment below with what step you're taking to build your six-figure future, and subscribe for more inspiring, actionable videos on money, mindset, and freedom. Disclaimer: this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only and should not be taken as financial advice.